1944, Urban received a serious leg wound during combat in France. In mid-July, he was recuperating in a hospital in England when he learned that his unit had suffered significant casualties. He left the hospital, hitchhiked back to the 2nd Battalion command post in France, and under heavy enemy fire, he was wounded 3 more times in August and early September 1944, each time refusing evacuation until his battalion was secure. President Jimmy Carter presented Matt Urban with the Medal of Honor on July 19, 1980, in the ceremony attended by several hundred guests, including 9th Infantry veterans who had served with Urban in combat. According to the citation, Captain Urban's personal leadership, limitless bravery, and repeated extraordinary exposure to enemy fire served as an inspiration to his entire battalion. His actions reflect the utmost credit on him and uphold the noble traditions of the United States Army. Ladies and gentlemen, to the men and women in attendance this evening who have served this great country in our armed forces, would you please stand at this time to be recognized? And about to take can women stand over me, and I won't forget the men who died who gave that right to me, and I can stand next to you for your service. It's now my honor to introduce our co-MC and the chair of the USA Softball Hall of Fame Committee. Stu Alderman is the commissioner for USA Softball of Metro Detroit. He is hardworking. He is dedicated. He is a leader and an advocate for this great game, and he's a tremendous friend. To be honest, though, ladies and gentlemen, he is going to be a bit distracted tonight. You see, we are both from Michigan, and Michigan's playing Michigan State right now. So just letting you know, might be a little loose tonight. No, Stu Alderman is one of the absolute best people I know, and it is my honor to introduce you to him, our Hall of Fame Committee Chair, Mr. Stu Alderman.
Thank you, Darren. It is indeed an honor to be here tonight as we honor 8 individuals and 1 team into the USA Softball Hall of Fame. One of the best parts of this event is the opportunity to connect with one another. Whether it's catching up with old friends and teammates or retelling the greatest stories on and off the field, there is nothing quite like being a part of the USA Softball family. To our current Hall of Fame members, thank you for all your contributions to our great sport and for everything you have done for USA Softball. After tonight, this elite group moves to 458, and we are proud to honor them for their commitment to the sport of softball. Current members of the National Hall of Fame, would you please stand at this time? And ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for the members of the National Softball Hall of Fame. As we prepare to begin tonight's festivities, I would like to introduce 2 outstanding individuals and athletes who will take you down the road to get to know your national team athletes. It is my pleasure to introduce to you Haley McClenny, a 4-time All-American at the University of Alabama, holding multiple school records, and also she just retired from playing professionally this past summer. She also represented the United States at the 2020 Summer Olympics, capturing a silver medal. Also, Sam Fisher, who was the first All-American in Loyola Marymount softball program history before playing on the U.S. women's national team from 2012 to 2016, earning a silver medal at the World Championships in both 212, and 214. She retired playing professionally this past August. Haley and Sam also host the Base Hits and Banter podcast presented by USA Softball.
Okay. Is this on? Okay, we did it.
We're on. Hi, everyone.
Hey, bear with us because this is about to be either the best or the worst decision USA Softball has ever made. We're super excited to be here tonight. We're going to start off talking a little bit about the national team athletes that we think you guys should pay attention to since we're hosting it in LA in 28. I'd like to start off talking about some flamethrowers. Let's do it. Megan Paramo and Nyjah Kennedy, the 2024 USA Softball Player of the Year. We retired just in time to not have to face Nyjah when she comes out of college. So
Thank God.
Yeah. that was a lot.
Our decisions are very strategic that
No.
we make. So
100%. You'll notice some others on this list that we don't have to face as well. But they're gamers. They're players that they know how to win, and they're gonna hopefully lead us to a gold medal as we get closer to it.
Hey, yeah, that's right. Let's give it up for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go. I've got another, not necessarily a flamethrower on my list of people to watch, but Kelly Maxwell, you may know her. She spent a lot of time in the state of Oklahoma at a couple of different schools in Oklahoma, but she spent some time with the national team this year. Absolutely shut down Japan when the elite team went over to compete in Japan. So let's give it up for that, Kelly Maxwell. Another athlete to keep an eye on too, Sam. We're going to switch it into our favorites. Offensive category for something away. Amanda Lorenz, a Florida Gator. I know we've got Michelle Moultrie in the room, also the Florida Gators, so we got to shout out our Gators. Amanda Lorenz had one of the best summers I think we've ever seen from an offensive standpoint. She won the individual championship at Athletes Unlimited and was also a part of the silver medal at the World Championships in Italy this summer.
Gosh, outstanding
So I can't do that. But
Thank
yeah,
you. No, don't do it.
I can't do it.
Roll Tide.
I'll get kicked out. Roll
A
Tide.
couple of more familiar Oklahoma names in Tiari Jennings and Jocelyn Alla, who you want to talk about people who know how to win. Tiari ended every season at Oklahoma with a win. I mean, who does that?
Who wins four national championships?
Because when you have a dynamic pitching staff, like we've already talked about, you provide some runs for them to do their job easier. So very excited to see what they can continue to do leading up to 28.
And we've hit pitching, we've hit offense. How about we hit some defense a little bit with our defensive structure? Sis Bates, you heard of her? She plays a mean shortstop, went to the University of Washington. She competed with Team USA this summer as well, was our starting shortstop in the gold medal game against Japan. Phenomenal player, even better human being. Sunshine in a Cup, literally, is Sis Bates. And Aubrey Leach, one of our favorite stories, I think, that comes out of our national team athletes. Aubrey Leach wears number 75, and she wears number 75 because her father served in the United States Marine Corps, who was founded in the year 1775. So really, really cool story. And again, thank you to everyone that has served our country and continues to do so. I mean, needless to say, this was a phenomenal summer for USA Softball, and we are extremely excited to see where we go when we compete in LA, Oklahoma City in 2028, where Team USA will win the gold. Mark it right now.
You heard it here first, folks. Should we bring our besties back up on stage?
I think so.
Oh, we're going to go
now. Okay.
If you build it, they will come, and they have over 120,000 each year to the National Softball Hall of Fame in Oklahoma City. The museum is every fan's field of dreams with its stories, legends, and magic that has been passed on from generation to generation. Every wall is a spotlight moment and proves that this great love for softball will not only endure, but flourish.
To begin our Hall of Fame
Build it, they
induction,
will come.
we would like to commence with a prelude that was established many years ago by the illustrious Hall of Famer and former National Staff member, Mr. Bill Plummer.
The history of sports has been marked by the occasional appearance of an athlete who seems to have been touched by a magical hand, whose extraordinary skills are embellished by an intangible spark of greatness. An athlete who seems destined to leave an indelible stamp on his or her chosen path.
Greatness assumes many shapes and forms, like subtle colors blending into a deep blue hue. But in any form, greatness separates the legends from the mere mortals in the area of sports.
Proficiency and skill can be honed by practice and dedication, but the real outstanding athletes, the Hall of Famers, come to the arena with greatness already programmed into their hearts.
The purpose of the National Hall of Fame and honor is to recognize these men and women who have played so brilliantly and competed so well during their careers, whether they managed, umpired, sponsored, or provided that special touch to the game of softball, and who at the same time have contributed to the development and growth of this sport. Ladies and gentlemen, shall we get started? Our first inductee for the National Softball Hall of Fame is an individual who was a standout slow pitch player. Mike Bolen was one of the best pure hitters that played in the 1970s and 1980s. He was a gentle giant who could play any infield position. He was known for having immense power as well as the ability to hit for high averages on a consistent basis. In 1981, he hit 333 home runs to lead the country, as well as 435 home runs in 1986. Mike played on some of the top teams throughout his career, including Jerry's Caterers from Miami, Florida, and Steel Sports out of Ohio. Mike was considered a hitting machine as he has more than 2,500 home runs, along with a career batting average of .725. Tonight, Mike Bolen becomes a member of the National Softball Hall of Fame, now and forever. Unfortunately, Mike Bolen was injured recently and he is unable to attend. We will accept this award on his behalf. Ladies and gentlemen, if you would, a round of applause for the newest member of the National Softball Hall of Fame, Mike Bolen. Don Cooper's distinguished career as a USA Softball National Championships on both the women's and men's sides of the highest levels of play. He was a six-time women's slow pitch national team head coach, a head coach for the 2013 men's slow pitch national futures team, and a seven-time national champion as a head coach for USA Softball. Don was selected by USA Softball to conduct slow pitch clinics in Europe to help improve and build their own programs. As a manager, Don gets the most out of his players and has fostered an unparalleled respect from his players, assistant coaches, and his opponents as well. He is a truly outstanding coach and a true ambassador for the game of softball. Tonight, Don Cooper becomes a member of the National Softball Hall of Fame, now and forever. Ladies and gentlemen, Don Cooper.
See a dying star, white lies on fire. Make love the devil.
I just have a question. Are you pissed you were born 4 years before NIL?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm just curious. I mean, I was scribbling math over there, Haley.
100%. No, if anyone in this room feels so obligated to give to the current college softball players, you are more than welcome to put that in mine and Sam's account, and we will make sure, wink, wink, that it gets to them. So
I
thanks.
appreciate that.
Thank you in advance.
And then I got a little grief down here because I assumed whoever put the original intro together was an umpire because I was left out of it. And I know I don't have the greatest relationship with a lot of the umpires in this room, but I would like to add me standing here, you sitting there. It validates I'm right a lot more than you are. So it's a great night for a lot of people in this room. Congratulations to everyone. So, an interesting story. I grew up watching Pay N Pak play. My brother played against them. He's since passed on. But I would hustle from baseball practice to watch him on the hobnob versus another team play Pay N Pak, hoping one day to be on Pay N Pak because they were so dominant and so important to the community around Seattle. So, to me, it was a weird thing. We flew down on the planes, a bunch of them, and it's just a lot of memories, hustling to watch your big brother play. And it's something you just, if they're gone or not, you just never forget. So congratulations to everybody, but especially Pay N Pak. And as I think you guys know, as a manager, you give way too much credit and occasionally way too much blame. So really, this is about all the players that have played for me over the years. I learned something years ago: pick the right players when the season starts, and get the hell out of the way. And most of the time, it pans out. But also, it's been a family business. I'm not standing here without my wife Shannon, who really runs everything. Everybody talks about Derby and the however many hundreds and hundreds of wins and the national stuff, but behind the scenes, she really does it all. It's a blessing to me. I met her at a field. The story's been told around this room by a lot of people. I asked another friend, a friend of hers, a teammate of hers, what's the story with the redhead? And they said, you like her? I said, it's pretty hot. So they went and said, hey, Coop would like to ask you out. And she said, not in a million years. He's the most arrogant prick I've ever met. Million years, 3 weeks, female time. So we actually went on our first date in Orlando at the ASA Super when it was in Sanford, Florida, 25 years ago. So we're still here, still together, and we're still debating what a million years really meant. So it also brought me Tammy and the rest of my family at the table down there. All of it came to me via softball. So it's given me so much more than I've ever will ever be able to get back. And there's no way to thank everybody in a career as long as not mine, but there's a list that I'd like to, so I don't, and if I forget something, God knows I apologize because that's all I'll tell you, I don't write anything down ever. So starting with Ron Ranagondo, who I love an experience he sent me on, and when I was there, I tried to have his house firebombed. He sent me to Europe to travel all over, do schools during the day, and do slow pitch softball at night, fast pitch during the day, and work in parks. He sent me, Johnny McCrow's CD, all of us about my size. Europe isn't really equipped for 3 people our size. We took bags for 15 days. The first car to pick us up to take us across the country was a Mini Cooper. I thought that was an oxy-frickin-moron. And so there's the 3 of us looking like, what are we doing? There's a picture floating around somewhere. Our bags are on the top tied. We laid CD in the back and piled bags on her. I sat this way in the car, Johnny sat there. We had our bat bags on our lap, and we drove for 2.5 hours. And they found a van after that to take us the rest of the way. But one of the great experiences of my life to think I was a kid hustling to watch Pay N Pak play softball. Now I'm standing in a field in the middle of Ireland coaching kids. And then they sent us to schools, and the first question the kids asked us was, I've never thrown a ball, what hand do I do it with? And I thought, boy, Ron, you got me on this one, buddy, So, but one of the great experiences of my life. So I can't thank Ron enough for those experiences, sending me off to weird places to do weird things. The Crest family as a whole, mainly Carrie, because Carrie, like Shannon in our house, I understand who runs everything. I mean, no bullshit aside, we get it. I mean, I know Craig, I know Rich, none of this gets done without Carrie. So let's just cut to the chase. But the entire Crest family, amazing people. Kevin Ryan, Siebes, all of the USA people that I work with on a daily basis, because my other job is somehow I got wrapped up in back committees and figuring out bats and balls and things like that. So everybody at USA, thank you. Thank you so much. It's been an amazing ride. I got 1 year left of coaching fast pitch. My girl's a senior this year, so we've got one more go around and then off to your college coach, and he or she can deal with all the shit I screwed up with you over the last 17 years. So super proud of her and the experiences that we get. She's really a basketball and volleyball player, but she plays fast pitch on the side to humor me a little bit. So I greatly appreciate that. And to the rest of all the girls that I've had the privilege to coach, both on USA and regular, I can't thank you enough. I can tell you as a coach, I've lost one game that matters. You can take all the national championships, all the tournament wins. We took a silver medal. And those hurt. I'd have rather just not even been in the game than to lose that game. It's the only game in all of the years that I've ever coached. And another joke in our community, I think I'm blessed to have won the most national championships on the women's side. I've also been double picked the most, so I don't know what that says about me. But the loss to Canada in a game we had no business losing. As a coach, you never forget those things. And I think that's the beauty of coaching. It's not the 2,000 wins, the national titles. It's the one loss by a run. And you second guess that however many years later, 8, 9 years later, I will still wake up at night second guessing every decision I made in that game. So it's the beauty, the horror, and kind of that gets you about sports. And it's great. And I'll leave you with this. And this is a great room, and I get the privilege of speaking to a lot of rooms. Support women's sports. I kid Haley and Sam and a lot of the people here. It's come so far. It has to go so much further. And it has to go so much further with the support of everyone. We're at a crossroads in a lot of the things that are going on in women's sports right now. I'm not going to get political about it, but support it, invest in it, find time for it, find time for all of the little girls like we did when we were kids and our parents ran us everywhere. And this is a phenomenal room because we have so many fast pitch parents here, and we have so many parents and so many directors that have supported it. But all of us have to speak up. All of us have to speak out about it. There's nothing as important of the lessons that all of us learned in sports. And we have to make sure we include and expand the inclusion of all the women into this. So I'll leave you guys with that. And thank you very much to USA and the entire committee.
Our next inductee is a team that was feared by many boys every time they were Peterbilt Pay N Pak men's fast pitch softball team were the Giants on the ball back, capturing 5. Their first title came in 1980 in Decatur, Illinois, followed by titles in 1982, 1985, 1986, and 1987 in Springfield, Missouri. Their first 2 titles were won under the banner sponsor of Peterbilt last 3 on Monday. The team also won the Triple Crown in 1986, capturing all 3 ASA Nationals, ISC Nationals, and the National Splits. No team during this era exemplified championship caliber on and off the field. The sponsor and coaches created a culture that the players were expected to follow each and every time they played. Tonight, the Peterbilt Pay N Pak team becomes a member of the National Softball. Ladies and gentlemen, Tom Wagner to accept the award.
Thank you to the USA softball.
Ryan love no skillin' when we so I got
First of all, I'd like to thank our sponsors. First, Peterbilt and Jack Pettigana and his wife Cheryl, and the late Jack Pettigana and his wife Cheryl. They were great sponsors, led us into the 1980s, and Jack took us to another level. Great people. And Steve and Doug Pettigana, which is here with us tonight, took over the sponsorship. And thank you, Steve and Doug. And then Peterbilt came back in, and Dave Hernsberger, and as a matter of fact, Jack and Dave Hernsberger both played softball, so we had a natural culture there. But great sponsor, and Steve also coached many years too as a great coach. And last one who's been on the sponsorship was Paul Morris, was the coach of the team and did some sponsoring, and I really recognize him. Without all of you, we would never won that will be here tonight. So thanks again. Now this team we had a lot of talent on the team. They were very dedicated, prepared, and they're overconfident sometimes, but very confident people. And in championship play, we were 47-2 in the years that we won. And I have to say, we won one year in 1987. We lost the first game and come back to win 11 straight. So there's a lot of confidence and a lot of people believing on a real winner. Not only did the team win the World National Olympic Sport Festivals, but they also won the Sportsmanship Award several times. That's pretty unusual to win a title and win a Sportsmanship Award too. But our guys won and lost in class in the field and off the field. And I thank them for that. Our thoughts and prayers are with our members of our team that have passed in 40 years, so we lost quite a few. And I'd like the Peterbilt players to stand up and remain standing for a second. Great job, fellas. And also, I would like the wives and family of the players to stand up. And it wouldn't be for the wives and their loving support, none of us would be here. So we know we're the boss, but we just want them to know. So, Jeff Moore, are you here, Jeff? You come up here in a second. Did my best to get out of this job. This is a team deal, not individual. I spoken speaking for the teams.
Well, you really did it to me this time, Skip. It's an honor to be here again at the Hall of Fame banquet. I want to congratulate all the inductees tonight. A special shout out to my 1987 Pan American Games teammate, Pete Sandman. Yep. To the sponsors, Pettigana family, the late Dave Herensberger, There's nobody here. We couldn't have been here without them. And what I'd like to say is that through our historic run of the 5 national championships between 80 and 87, what made it special was the hard work, dedication, and the love of the game that all the guys had. We had teammates here that represent every 80, 81, 82, all the way to 87 that are here tonight with their families, with their kids. It takes the whole team playing 100, 120 games. You won't just have 9 guys playing. It takes everybody. And it takes everybody on the years when you don't win to try to keep it going for the next year. That's part of what made us great. The family atmosphere. We truly love each other. And this day, we still have functions that everyone's included and they try to make. The one thing that stands out to me, we didn't win every year. But if we got to the finals, we never lost. No second place. And so with that, I congratulate everyone, all my teammates that are here tonight, the ones that couldn't make it here, and the ones that passed on. We are now and forever in the ASA USA Hall of Fame. Thank you.
Our next inductee of the night is one of the top men's fast pitch players to step foot on the diamond. Charlie Richard's famed career spanned 3 decades at the highest level of men's fast pitch. He made his national debut at the 1957 men's national tournament, where he threw a one-hitter in that tournament. From 1960 to 1969, he played for famed Seal Masters, capturing the ASA national title 3 times. During those 9 seasons, his overall record was 230 and 35, with an ERA of .5. He was widely considered to be the best left-handed pitcher of that era. Charlie was also a member of the 2-time USA gold medal winning team, capturing the first 2 ISF World Tournaments in 1966 and 1968. He also threw the first ever perfect game in ISF history and has a combined ERA for ISF play of 0.00. Tonight, Charlie becomes a member of the National Softball Hall of Fame now and forever. Unfortunately, Charlie passed away in 2011. Accepting on his behalf tonight is his son Tom and his daughter Renee.
Sunshine in my pocket, my neck and salt to my feet, feel that hot blood in my body, it drops. Can take my soul pumping, that's so phenomenally. We rock it, so don't stop. I'm moving down, so let it go. Nowhere to hide when I'm getting too close. When you move, you find I'm really close. So just imagine this picture. Let's see what you when you dance, yeah. On your dance, yeah.
We got together to consider try to think about what want to express. You think he wanted you to know how grateful he was to explore the soft, who provided him with an opportunity he might not otherwise have. Growing up in Louisiana, it brought him to Illinois and to a job he enjoyed with Seal Masters. He was able to travel across the country. It provided him and his family with a community and friendships, many of which continued for the rest of his life. It also opened the door for him to start a business with former teammates and friends and employ hundreds of people in the rural area. Supporting these people and their families, he would tell you, was his proudest achievement. You think he would have told you that softball had been very good to him. It allowed him to support the local community of local teams for decades after his playing career was over.
He would have wanted us to thank the people who helped him a long way, starting with his parents, his uncle who taught him to pitch, and his younger sister Verna, who coincidentally was the first batter he ever faced. He would never hold the bat while he practiced pitching against the side of the barn. He needed strike zone. Verna said she was absolutely terrified the entire time. She wouldn't be the last terrified batter to face him at the plate. He would have wanted us to get special things with while in our barns, taking pictures of him. That's that pretty lady down there with our sister. Our sister was there in our letters. In 1960, 1969, and I was a small year with Sandman. They also had 6 children. 4, 5, okay. Imagine how big her life was back then. Somehow she managed to find time and energy to every goal, every art published. In order to confidence song clear and several records to show up at home. What was biggest Sam, but he was first.
Your Royal Steelmaster and Home Savings team for 2 of the greatest teams that have played. We are proud that our father was part of that legacy, and that he is being honored tonight in joining his team. This wouldn't be possible without the assistance of people who'd like to recognize. Starting off with a gentleman named Mike Bolen. He had a Facebook post last year about Dad being at the 63 Nationals. And it kind of reignited the effort to get into fame. Hall of Famer and teammate Bill Pfeiffer, who helped us with the nomination process. His Hall of Fame teammates, Harvey Sturkle and John Spring, 2 outstanding pitchers with the Steelmaster, who wrote letters almost 30 years ago supporting his former Home Savings player or team manager, Rob Brady, who also wrote a lot of this. We are eternally grateful to all of them, and also the city of Aurora, the great fans that filled the stands for decades, the players and their families, and to all of you for sharing this honor. And we would also like to congratulate you that the new inductees getting into the Hall of Fame. Happy and proud that he's a member. Thank you for that. Yeah.
Our 5th inductee for the 2024 Hall of Fame class is an individual that has represented ASA USA softball at all levels of play. Pete Sandman was a star fast pitch player at the national level, as he was a member of the 1986 men's major team where he was named first team All-American. In 1988, he was also named to the 3rd team at the men's major national championship. He then took his show on the road representing USA at the Pan American Games in the late 1980s and early 1990s, capturing silver medals. In 1996 and 98, Pete was on the gold medal USA national team. Pete also played in the U.S. Olympic Festival in 1987, 1990, 91, 93, capturing 2 gold medals 1 silver, and 1 bronze. A well-respected fast pitch player that shined on the ball diamond at the state, national, and international levels. Tonight, he becomes a member of the National Softball Hall of Fame, now and forever. Ladies and gentlemen, Pete Sandman.
How's everybody doing? All right, I'd like to say thank you very much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Pete Sandman, internationally known as Pedro. All right. That was tagged on me by my good friend and fellow teammate. He inducted into this prestigious Hall of Fame, not only with the men's fast pitch, but all the unbelievable players, coaches, administrators, umpires, and teams from all phases of the softball game. And I'd be remiss not to mention something about the Pay N Pak team, which obviously was one of my primary rivals throughout the course of my career. It's funny how the rivals can turn into friendships, because some of my best friends are also on that team, including Billy Boyer, Yogi, Steve Newell, not to mention Tim Wall, our good friend Randy Burnside, Jimmy Moore, Nobby, and even Bruce Beard. All right. All right, I'm going to give you 4 reasons, I believe, that put me in the Hall of Fame, and here's number 1, and the leadoff batter is my granddaughter, Miss Peyton Sandman, from Rapid City, South Dakota. Has anybody ever heard the song Layla? Get down on my knee, Layla. Thank God they didn't name her Layla, okay? Because after Peyton was born, her original name was Layla. And a few hours later, after deliberation, her parents changed it to Peyton. Well, what's the significance of that? Peyton was then P.S. like Pete Sandman. It was Peyton Sandman. See this little sticker here? That SPPS? I've been using that for years to put on my stuff, and it kind of signifies Pete Sandman. But every time I look at it, you know what I think of? SP. Steve Padilla, who's also a National Hall of Fame member, that I got to pitch with in the Pan American Games. I called up SP and I said, you know what? I got these stickers. I think you'd like them. I said, I'll send them out. We talked for a little bit. He says, Sandman, you were inducted in the Iowa Hall of Fame, right? I said, yeah. He says, send me your stats. So I sent the stickers out, sent the stats out. He called me back and says, I love the stickers. He says, but because I'm going to nominate you for the National Softball Hall of Fame. There you are. Thank you, Peyton and SP, okay? All right, number 2 brings me to the reason. Is that I have great careers, no doubt. I played with Penn Corps. We won some ASA Nationals, and we got some seconds. Yogi. Yeah. We won some ISC Worlds, and we got some seconds, okay? I pitched in 4 Olympic sports festivals. I pitched on 2 Pan American team games. I represented the United States national team pitching in Canada, New Zealand, Venezuela, and Cuba, as well as across the United States. And I figure in my career, I struck out over 8,000 batters. So you got that. Okay. I had the opportunity to pitch to some of the best catchers in the world. And like I say, us pitchers, and Jimmy would say, you know, we're pitchers. You got to have your catchers, okay? So I'll go with some of the catchers. I got to do some name dropping. From Sioux City, Steve Zediker, Rich Smith, Johnny Tritz, Brent Eicholt. International catchers I got to pitch to. When you say I got the opportunity to pitch to these guys, Timmy Wall, Randy Burnside, Todd Garcia, the Wolfie, Mark Sorensen, anybody know him? Brad Burrup, and more. Okay. So the catchers, let's give them a hand for handling Sandman. I also would like to say thank you to the gentlemen that wrote letters on my behalf to get me inducted here. They include, again, Steve Padilla, John Eady, Gail Kurtz, Whitey Parnow, Billy Boyer, Jimmy Moore, Doug Lindeman, Bob Watson, and the late, great godfather of the game, Rocco Santilli. So the bottom line is, to me, if these guys write letters saying I should be in, I accept the induction. All right, number 3, what comes around goes around. I grew up in Sioux City, Iowa, half block from historic Hubbard Park. You should Google that sometime. It's a ballpark that's going to be 100 years old in 2028. They started playing that softball down there in 1940. I grew up right by the park. I started pitching the men's league when I was 16, and I pitched basically for about 30 years. Okay. But I've been back in Sioux City trying to fix up Hubbard Park, and I had put out the invitation to the national team to come to Sioux City to play, especially in year 2028, the year of the Olympics, because our ballpark will be 100 years old. And I'd love nothing more than to have the national team come in and play. And then I also met Gail Kurtz for Pencore when I was 21 years old. He said that he was changing the direction of Pencore softball to become not just an A team, but a national open team and try to win the world tournament. Well, guess what? Gail and I had the same goals. However, I never figured it would happen in my backyard because my front yard was Hubbard Park and my backyard was Pencore Park. Okay. Anyway, I met Gail. I started working with the insurance industry in 1982. Through softball, and I got to tell you, I just retired last summer after 42 years in the insurance industry, and I'm sure glad I did that. All right. Last but not least is family. Okay, my family is here. I'm happy to say, without your support and everything you've done for me, I wouldn't have been able to get it done. Okay, so my brother Jim and his son Andrew are here out somewhere in the crowd. My brother Mark and his son Patrick, my sister Mary and her son Dan and wife Mimi. I think they're all back there at the table. My other brother John sadly passed away this summer from cancer. He would have been here. He was only 67 years old. To all those fighting that terrible disease. My son, my children are here. My son Stephen and his wife Cheyenne, the infamous Miss Peyton, and Austin Peter Sandman. My daughter Katie and her husband Andrew. My daughter Jenna could not be here due to a work conflict. And my friends Pat and Jill Considine. Pat Considine was my backstop catcher for many, many years. And of course, last but not least, my beautiful wife Janelle, internationally known as Nellie. Right? I love you. Thank you for letting me pursue my dreams. And we had this sign in our bedroom that says, "To love something is to let it be free." I put that there. Okay. So anytime you hear that song Layla, okay, you can think about Miss Peyton not being Layla and the SP, and I got some of these stickers to hand out to people who want them. Thank you for your time, and I'm sure glad to be in this club. Thank you.
Our next inductee is a slow pitch player who was a dominant player for many years. Cheryl Trapnell stands out as one of the finest players who ever played in the armed forces, and she's played many years before moving on to coaching ranks, improving her prowess in that capacity. She started her playing career with the United States Air Force women's softball team in 1981 and continued her illustrious career until 2012. Cheryl played a major role in the growth and development of softball as she was considered the best shortstop of her era. She possessed the complete offensive and defensive skill sets to anchor Indians. She was named 10 times as a first-team All-American from 1989 to 2002, playing mostly at the major levels. Cheryl was also a member of 6 national teams. Tonight, Cheryl becomes a member of the National Softball Hall of Fame. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Cheryl Trapnell.
So I've got some hard to follow. I've got my 24 font teleprompter. So, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed members of the USA Softball Hall of Fame, fellow athletes and friends, what an incredible honor it is to stand before this. I am truly humbled and grateful to be inducted into the USA Softball Hall of Fame. So I have a written speech for all you guys that could wing it. Mine's written, sorry. First, I want to thank the selection committee for this recognition. It's a privilege to be among such remarkable athletes who have dedicated their lives to this fabulous game. I am honored to join the ranks. Taking a look back, I could not have ever imagined Tomboy Trap would be standing here. 53 years ago, a Little League boys coach pulled a jersey out of his trunk in Bangkok, Thailand. And he said, here, this is the last jersey I have. It's number 13. That was the start of my involvement in organized sports and my love of the number 13. Lowry Air Force Base was next. Once again, no girls' leagues. So I played boys baseball. I had a World War veteran, Mr. Rabjohn. He was crippled. He taught me how to throw, how to catch, and how to work hard. And he taught me how to get better. A tennis ball and a brick wall will do wonders for a backhand. And so I got in a lot of trouble for all the noise that it would make sometimes, but it was well worth it. So off to Germany, 10th, 11th, and 12th grade, Wiesbaden, Germany. Once again, another mentor came into my life. Coach Elliott. He was my high school basketball coach. He solely turned Tomboy Trap into a young lady. I can still hear the words. He would say, you are my basketball players on the court, but off the court, you're my ladies, and you act as such, and you will dress as such. And therefore, you will wear a dress to every single game. Well, so I had to go out and buy a dress. So that was a huge turning point in my life. Another mentor and good friend, Mr. Mo Gillespie. Wiesbaden, Germany. I was a little skinny high school kid, probably about 60 pounds lighter. And I can still see him up in the stands, tapping his wallet. Put your money where your mouth is, because he'd always be rooting for my team. And anyways, he's probably up in heaven right now, and he's got a lot of angels playing softball. So I decided to join the Air Force in 1980, and it was the best decision I ever made. Off to Carswell Air Force Base, Texas. And my first supervisor, Tech Sergeant Barry Earls, may he rest in peace. I tried to track him down to get him here, but he had passed. And so he saw me play ball, and he said, you're going to put in for the Air Force team. And I was like, what are you talking about? And anyways, I put in, got selected, and I started at shortstop that first year. And that was the start of a 25-year career in the Air Force that included 19 years on the Air Force softball team. And a dozen or so on the Armed Forces team. There were so many coaches over the years. A few that stick out are Jackie Erickson, who couldn't be here today. He really wanted to, but he couldn't make it. He taught me how to hit. I mean, I was a real crappy hitter. They would hide me in the lineup. But he taught me how to hit right field, left field, wherever I wanted to hit the ball. And then there's Jack Hayes. I don't know, a lot of you might know Jack Hayes, San Antonio, Texas. He taught me that it's really hard to hang out after practice and drink a 12-pack, right, pup? You're out in the outfield, you're drinking a 12-pack, you're having, or it might have been a case, you're having a really good time. And then at 7 o'clock, you better be at breakfast, because that was the rule. And then at 9 o'clock, he will kill you in practice. And so I learned a hard lesson a few years that I played for him. I can't forget my Army coaches. I had Coach Borda and Coach Bryce, and they taught me to work hard all the time. Because if you didn't, you were going to run a lot of laps. And so I had to do 20 around the warning track at Fort Uniontown Gap, Pennsylvania. I got picked off on a line drive in a scrimmage game. So that was a lesson learned. Coach Corcoran, who my buddy Jody is going to talk about, so we're going to leave that. He's another great. There's many more coaches that taught me the game, because in softball, the learning never stops. You learn every day you play, every coach, you learn. It's not just, it stops because you're at the pinnacle. You just keep learning. All of that led to a couple national championships, a few, and way too many second places, Pay N Pak. I'm one of those people like Mr. Sandman there. Yep, I got some second places. It's funny, but it's not funny because it's really depressing. But I would like to say that I have lost to one of the strongest, best teams that I have ever seen in USA softball. And that was enough said. That team, they've got my ultimate respect. I don't know if any of you know them yet. I finished in second with my manager teams. They're probably the female Pay N Pak team. So I played a lot more softball. I played for the Yard Dogs from Georgia, and I wanted to thank Tommy Hales, who was another coach. I've also played for Hilton in the Panhandle of Florida, where, I heard it ring. All right. Coached by Nick and Ann Humble. Ann passed away, which is very unfortunate. She had probably 30 years of scorebooks. If you wanted stats on somebody, she could give it to you. She would pull out those books and she had it. There's a tournament in Panama City this weekend that a few of us are going to. It's a senior tournament that is honoring her. They kept softball alive in the Panhandle of Florida when things were dying. So I've continued to play in my senior years with one of the best senior teams in the nation from Michigan. And Jolico 50s, 55s, and 60s. So for over 13 years, we've been traveling to tourneys and competing with seniors from all over the world. The coolest thing about senior softball is watching the 80s division. It goes up to over 80. So you got these grandmas that are playing softball. I mean, literally, it's amazing. So you'll see one of them hit the ball, and they're going down the base path, and you look in the bleachers, and there's the great-grandchildren cheering grandma on. I mean, it's the most amazing sight and sound ever. It's awesome. So none of what I've talked about would have been possible without the support of others. Man needs me. First and foremost, I'd like to talk about my family. To my parents who could not be here, they're both in their mid to late 80s and could not make it. I'm fortunate enough to still have them, but they couldn't fly up here. They instilled in me the values of hard work and perseverance, and I thank them for always believing in me. To my brothers, Atwood, and my middle brother passed away, Frank, for putting up with the wrath of their older sister, because I was a bear. My greatest accomplishment in my life is my boys. And Travis and Evan are here. I lost them. There they are. They got dragged to so many ball fields through the hot, cold, and rain weather. They were troopers. The unwavering support, encouragement, and love from them has been the foundation of my journey, cheering me on through every triumph, failure, and challenge. You guys have been my biggest fans, and I love you. Thank you for being there every step of the way. Also, I want to thank Mia for coming. She's the daughter I never had, my youngest son's girlfriend. Thank you for coming. And to my friends, thank you for the countless memories, the camaraderie, and the shared experiences. On and off the field, your friendship has enriched me and made this journey even more special. We have laughed, cried, and celebrated together, and I am grateful for every moment. I thank each of you for being a part of my life. Debbie and Mike, we were at RAF Logan Hall together. We lived across the street from each other and shared a cat. And we traveled throughout the UK and Scotland and played softball with the locals. And Debbie can tell some really funny stories about those road trips. It was amazing. I've got Elaine here, who we still play senior softball together, Cassie and Terry. We all played military softball over in Germany for and against each other. We played all over the world together. And now we're beach and traffic lights, which is a lot more fun. And then I've got my basketball buddy here from Spangdahl Air Base, point guard, Sam. Thank you for your support. My Canadian comrade, Diane, came down to show her support. And then I've got my margarita buddy. We're going to go to Pepper's when we get home and have a couple margaritas, Sally. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy lives and showing your support. It really is true what they say about locals. They're special and they make life special. I can't forget my longtime friend, Steve Butler. Thank you for your friendship, your support throughout the years. So we go back to the late 80s. His oldest daughter took care of my oldest son at the ball field so I could play softball. And we kind of took care of each other's kids every now and again. We were both personnel. We worked in the CBPO, which is like the personnel office. And we had the best boss ever. I think Steve would agree, Captain Hendricks, who retired as a general. He would shut down the CBPO and say, all right, emergency barbecue. The sun was shining. We needed to close the offices of the barbecue. So we had some good times back there in Germany. I also want to express my heartfelt thanks to all my coworkers and supervisors throughout my 25-year military career. You're probably wondering, how the hell did she get off work so much? Anyways, I worked hard, and I had great supervisors. And my best supervisor ever was Mr. Elliot Moore, the absolute best. He pushed me personally, professionally. He always supported me during my softball team-wise, covering for me and always pushing me to do my best on and off the field. All my supervisors showed so much understanding, flexibility, and support. And on the other hand, I also gave them 10% when I was in the US. So it went both ways. They allowed me to play softball while fulfilling my duties in the Air Force. Their encouragement and belief in me was invaluable, and I am deeply appreciative of their role in my journey. I wish some of them could be here today to enjoy this honor with me. Softball's given me so much, lifelong friendships, incredible experiences, and the opportunity to represent our country on the world stage. I'm grateful for every moment, every practice, and every game that brought me closer to my passion. As I reflect on the journey, I'm reminded that this honor is not just about my individual accomplishment. It's about the community here that surrounds our sport. Let us continue to uplift and empower one another, ensuring that future generations, the little girls that play ball, We want to mentor them and show them and teach them and let them enjoy and experience the magic of softball. In closing, thank you all for this incredible honor. I promise to carry the spirit of the Hall of Fame with pride and to advocate the sport that we all love. Here's to the game, to each other, and to the bright future ahead for USA softball. But thank you very much for your time.
Our next inductee was a star slow pitch player who shined at the top level of the game. The name Jody Trimmer is synonymous with the slow pitch game as she played in 24 women's major and open division national championships. A 12-time All-American, she was also a member of 2 ASA major national championships and a 5-time national runner-up. Her softball career continued as she played in 6 women's 35 and over national tournaments, capturing 6 consecutive titles, a 31-2 record, and 4 All-American honors. Jody then competed in the women's 50 and over major and 55 and over major slow pitch nationals as a member of 1 national championship team and 1 runner-up team. A homegrown star in York, Pennsylvania, Jody played in the famous York Softball League during her star-studded career. Only 2 women in the history of ASA USA softball women's slow pitch have earned more accolades than Jody, the legendary Kristen Dowling and Sue Isles. Tonight, Jody Trimmer becomes a member of the National Softball Hall of Fame now and forever. Ladies and gentlemen, Jody Trimmer. And congratulations to all the Hall of Fame inductees, both past and present. Richard Stein once said, "Silent gratitude isn't much good to anyone." And there are many people that deserve my gratitude for introducing me to the game of softball and supporting me in my 50-year journey. I would like to start by saying thank you to Steve Dimitri for the nomination and the Hall of Fame committee for selecting me. I would like to thank my dear friends and road dogs that are here to share this night. Many thanks goes to my family for their unwavering support and understanding when I missed more than one family event once. I've been blessed to play with many great players and to have great coaches like Jerry Corcoran and Art Hoover. Last but not least, I would like to thank my spouse for calling me up 19 years ago to ask a total stranger to play senior softball on my first 40 and over team. And now here I am playing 55 and 60 and over. I was 13 when I was asked and I was recruited by a women's Class A team. 2025 will mark 50 years of playing softball when I started playing in our local league in York, Pennsylvania. Between now and then, there's been a lot of road trips, a lot of sore muscles, more so now, and many treasured times and friendships. As a retired Army reservist, one of my greatest honors was to play for the Army in the Armed Forces tournament alongside my fellow soldiers, including my fellow inductee, Cheryl Trapnell. Softball has enriched my life in so many ways, both on and off the field. I don't run as fast, I don't throw as hard, and I don't hit as hard.
but my heart still sings every time I step on the softball field. Thank you.
Our next inductee represents the blue to the highest degree, both on and off the field. Michael Wolf worked the highest levels of slow pitch softball for ASA USA, including the men's major and men's super national championships. A great accomplishment of his umpire career was that Mike worked 7 national championships and was selected for the championship game in 6 of them. His umpire career includes serving as the UIC for USA Softball of North Dakota since 2004, and he was deputy UIC for several years before that. As great as Mike's accomplishments are in ASA and USA Softball, one has to start with his involvement in the annual McQuaid Charity Softball Tournament, the biggest slow pitch softball tournament in the world, where he serves as the tournament director in the UIC. Mike Wolf is passionate about softball, and most of all, he really, truly cares about the umpire program. Tonight, Michael becomes a member of the National Softball Hall of Fame, now and forever. Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Wolf.
I got a piece of land out in the countryside. Lay back and smell the sun.
Thank you. First of all, I would like to congratulate all of the other Hall of Fame inductees on their well-deserved honors. Also, thank you to so many family and friends that are here to support me tonight. People that I call brothers and sisters. That's just what USA Softball is about. It brings people together. I started my umpire career in Bowman, North Dakota in the mid-1970s. I remember going to my dad's softball games all the time, and I started umpiring because there wasn't anyone else to do it. I remember really enjoying it, and I'm pretty sure I didn't get paid. But then again, umpiring isn't about the money. If it were about the money, many of us would have quit long ago. My parents taught me at an early age what it meant to be a servant leader, leading by their example. The gifts we have are given to share. As a servant leader, you shouldn't get involved with things for personal gain. You should get involved to help and serve others. Family support is the background to our success as players, umpires, and sponsors. I would like to thank my family and especially my late wife, Connie, who passed away from cancer and was an angel for all of her support for so many years. Without her support, I would not be here tonight. She never questioned one thing I had ever done in my umpiring career, not to my face at least. She never told me I couldn't do something. She always encouraged me in my umpiring adventures, and for that, I'm forever grateful. I would also like to recognize and thank my beautiful daughters, Brittany and Brooke, who are here tonight for all of their support. They too have understood my passion for softball and have done nothing but encourage me as well in my softball endeavors. I remember how they loved to come to my games during my playing days, mostly for the barbecue and camaraderie afterwards. Brooke began umpiring 10 years ago and does an excellent job. Her first night umpiring, she threw a better overhand out than most of our veteran umpires. I wonder where she picked that up from. Brittany and Brooke have also been involved in playing softball for several years as well. Brittany and Brooke, I love you both so much, and I can't thank you enough for all of your unwavering love and support you have shown for me all these years. Not to underscore the blessings you are to me, Brittany and Brooke, but another great blessing are my grandchildren, Barrett, Gabrielle, Stella, and Griffin, who are all here tonight as well. And another grandchild coming in mid-November. We're going to have some darn good umpires and softball players in this crew. Barrett, who is 4, loves to help me at softball tournaments and is a great helper. He asked me one night before a tournament this summer if we should contact the umpires just one more time to make sure they knew when they started in the morning. Barrett, Gabrielle, Stella, Griffin, and baby Crosby, I love you so much. Thank you also to my 2 son-in-laws, Casey and Will. Thank you for being the men and great husbands and fathers that you are. Also, thank you to my brothers, Dana, Kevin, and Jeff, who are also here tonight. They are all softball players and love the game, and have also been a great support system to me throughout the years. Sylvia, another angel who has come into my life, has also been so supportive of my softball endeavors. I warned her early and often about the craziness associated with my softball life, but she too has encouraged me to continue to do the things I do, and for that I'm so grateful. I don't think any present or past Hall of Fame member would be here today if it hadn't been for the many sacrifices their spouses or their families made. It's been a true blessing that my family have been all so understanding and supportive for my passion for softball. In whatever you do, find yourself a mentor, jobs, hobbies, or anything you want to excel in, and you'll never regret it. I've been so lucky to have so many great umpiring mentors along the way. Mentors have taught me a lot about the little things of umpiring, the types of things most people would call nitpicking. I remember mentors telling me, I can't teach you how to have good judgment. That comes naturally. But I can teach you how to be in the proper position to make that judgment call easier. How to look good on the field by having good umpire mechanics. How to look sharp on the field. How to always give your best, no matter what division you're umpiring. To always hustle, no matter what the score or the situation was. And how to always present yourself in a professional manner. Those are the things that I took to heart and worked on every single game. And those are the exact things that I tell umpires that I help train and mentor today. Players can understand you may not get every call right, but they can't understand when you don't hustle or you don't give them your best effort. As an umpire, we're only as good as the last call we made. You must earn the respect of the players, and that doesn't happen overnight. A part of my umpiring philosophy is to build a good rapport with the players. I always want to be approachable and never intimidating or confrontational. There's still the serious part to the game, especially in the upper divisions, but I like to have interactions with the young and impressionable players in the lower divisions and to show them that umpires are not the enemy. It's very humbling to come back to league play after umpiring in a national tournament. Players really don't care where you've been or what big national tournament you've umpired. They are only concerned that you're going to give them your best effort each and every time you walk on the field, and that's what I've always tried to do. I sincerely treat every game as though it's the most important game for the 2 teams that are playing. That's because every game is the most important to those 2 teams, whether it's the lowest rec league game, a state tournament game, or games at a national tournament. I never felt I've umpired a perfect game, and when or if I ever do, I've always said it would be the last game that I ever umpired. I've been umpiring for 45 years, and I'm still working towards that perfect game. It proves we always have something to learn and work on. Umpiring is about hard work and opportunities. If you work hard, the opportunities will come. The best advice I ever received prior to my first national tournament was to listen and learn. I've been so fortunate to umpire all over the country at tournaments I never dreamt I'd be at, but hoped I would umpire someday, such as the ASA Championship Series here in Oklahoma City, the Men's Armed Forces, the Men's Major, the Men's Supers, and other great national tournaments. Under the leadership of Executive Director Craig Kress and Director of Umpires Kevin Ryan, Umpires in USA softball are so fortunate to have access to so many current and past regional UICs and supervisors. The regional UICs and supervisors are the very best of the best in USA softball, and I've learned so much for so many of them, and I'm so grateful for that. If an umpire isn't willing to take advantage of and implement their expertise, advice, and recommendations when working for them at a national tournament or when they're instructing at a national school, an umpire would be really losing out on taking advantage by not implementing all of their expertise and knowledge. After umpiring multiple national tournaments, I felt once that I became the state UIC that it was now my turn to do whatever I could do to provide other umpires the same opportunities I was given. Rather than me take up an umpire slot at a national tournament, I felt compelled to help other umpires, not only from North Dakota, go to tournaments around the country, but to have out-of-state umpires come to national tournaments in North Dakota to help everyone achieve their umpiring goals. I've taken advantage of the national connections that I have developed over the years to work with other UICs from around the country to do just that. It's always been my goal to put people in positions where they can succeed, which allows them to progress more easily to different levels. I've always felt that not only is an umpire's reputation at risk at a national tournament, but my reputation is at risk as well when I send someone to a national tournament. I want umpires to thrive, not just survive. I really appreciate the confidence that Kevin Ryan, my past regional UIC, Walt Stack, my current regional UIC, Steve Riswald, and my commissioner, Dick Dullman, have had in me in allowing me to work as a UIC at so many national tournaments. To my past commissioners, and especially my current commissioner, Dick Dullman, I sincerely appreciate and am so grateful for the opportunities you have given me to be so involved with USA softball on a local and national level. Thank you, Dick. So many of my friends from near and far are here tonight, and I'm so grateful for that. Without your support and your own dedication to softball, I wouldn't be here tonight. You are only as good as the people you surround yourself with. USA softball accolades I've received don't even come close to the friendships that I have made on and off the field. The lifelong friendships I've made are so humbling, and I'm so blessed and grateful for every friendship I've made. But again, that's what USA softball is all about. It brings people together. I wish I could mention each and every one of you by name, but you already know the love and respect I have for all of you. When I started my umpiring softball career, I never had any intention or inclination that I would ever end up in the Hall of Fame, and I don't think anyone else that was inducted tonight did either. I umpired and have become involved administratively because I love the people, I love what USA softball represents, and I love the game. This honor is not achieved by oneself. My Hall of Fame plaque might have my name on it, but it is the culmination of so many other people who have helped me and trusted me and believed in me and put their faith in me along the way throughout my umpiring and softball career. My accomplishments in softball are also a result of all the players who demand my best each and every time I walk on the field, and my fellow umpires who constantly challenge myself and each other to become better umpires. My accomplishments in softball are a result of all the mentors and the people who put their trust and confidence in me and put me in positions to help me succeed. My accomplishments in softball are also a result of all the people who have pushed me to become a better umpire, but more importantly, to become a better person. Any success I've achieved is because of so many people like all of you. This award is not all about me. I've always wanted things to be about us, because when we work together and have been mentored by others, and then we mentor others, that's what makes all of us successful. So I want you to know that you all share this prestigious recognition with me. Softball is about a sport that involves great sponsors, great and average athletes, and great and average umpires who are all dedicated to working together to make softball the sport of choice for so many. We do not strive for or expect honors such as this. We do what we do for the love of the game. It's great to be part of a sport and an organization from which I have received so much more than I have given back. There is so much I would love to talk to you about, including so many great stories, so many people who deserve personal recognition, let alone talking about the largest charity softball tournament in the world that I'm involved with, the McQuaid Charity Softball Tournament held in Bismarck and Mandan, North Dakota, each year that features 400 plus teams and 115 umpires that come from all over the country. It's a breeding ground for umpires from all over the country as we work all of the rec divisions and the DNC divisions in both men and women with a minimum of 2-man and mostly 3-man umpire systems. It's very gratifying to be involved in a tournament as an umpire, board member, umpire schedule, and UIC that donates 100% of the proceeds to charity, and a tournament that brings players and umpires together for a common cause to help others in need. A portion of our proceeds go to the Special Olympics programs in Bismarck and Mandan. We hold a hit, run, and throw skills competition, and we also showcase all the Special Olympic athletes with a dedicated game. When you watch them play and to see the joy and excitement they have, it brings joy to your heart. We've also held 4 overseas Defenders of Freedom divisions, giving soldiers from North Dakota and soldiers from all over the United States the opportunity to play softball while serving our country, stationed in Bosnia, Kuwait, and twice in Iraq. We sent over bats, balls, gloves, and uniforms, and they were so grateful. However, we're the ones that are grateful for their service. This year, we will be celebrating McQuaid's 50th anniversary of a tournament that has donated well over $3.5 million to local charities. Before I wrap up, when tonight's celebration is over, I would like to invite anyone who would like to come to our hospitality room and celebrate all of our Hall of Fame inductees. It will take place in the Route 66 room. Please understand that I speak from my heart when I tell you that I'm truly honored. Please understand that I speak from my heart when I tell you I am very humbled and very grateful. And please understand that I speak from my heart when I tell you that I'm truly, truly blessed. I'm so grateful to be here and so thankful for so many people who paved the path for me. I will be eternally grateful for the recognition that has been bestowed upon me tonight. Thank you.
Our final inductee for the 2024 Hall of Fame class is considered by many to be one of the top power hitters in the slow pitch softball arena. Known as one of the top hitters in the 1970s and 80s, Andrew Mighty Joe Young was a dominant slow pitch softball player. He played in 8 national championships, leading to his teams to 3 national titles and 1 runner-up finish. Mighty Joe was named to 3 All-American teams, including 2 first-place selections, while playing for such top teams as Nelson Painting, Steels, and Jerry's Catering in the men's open and super divisions. In 1980, he broke the all-time single-season home run record, smashing 337 round trippers that season. He drove in 764 runs. He had a batting average of .716. Mighty Joe was a player that opposing teams did not want to face in a deciding game situation. Tonight, Mighty Joe becomes a member of the National Softball Hall of Fame now and forever. Ladies and gentlemen, Mighty Joe Young III.
Someone came crashing. Oh, oh.
I don't know who U.S. who United States of America, one of the two. But I can't thank everybody that contributed to this. I played against the greatest ball players in the history of slow pitch softball. I wasn't great at all when I started this game, but I watched other ball players. That was my education to this. My teachers was other softball players, and I'm grateful. I think everybody contributed to this. I'm not able to stay up here long, but I'm gonna stay up here as long as I can. But I don't know who to thank for my contribution to slow pitch softball. I can remember playing in front of 33 and 34,000 people. First time I seen that, I was so nervous, I couldn't hold my bat. I was putting down the dugout. That's the first time I ever seen that many people playing ball. But I want to thank everybody in slow pitch softball that I know of. I wasn't that great when I started, but I watched other athletes. And I always had somebody on my team that I had to compete against. And I did. And it looked like I did pretty good. So I would like to thank everybody. You know. Yeah. Yeah, I would like to thank everybody that contributed to this. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
What a fantastic evening. Hearing stories and memories from years of outstanding play and commitment to the game of softball. Let's give all of our 2024 Hall of Fame class one more round of applause. And you are now part of the USA softball family. I would be remiss if I did not acknowledge some outstanding individuals who have been instrumental in this event. First of all, my fellow Hall of Fame committee members, thank you for your time and dedication. National staff member Allison Flagg, for your hard work behind the scenes in making this event a success. Thank you. My also colleague Darren, who helped me tonight MC it, Sam and Haley also, thank you all for all you've done. The Hall of Fame committee met earlier today to determine the class of 2025. The following individuals have been selected. First, Kelly Kretschmann, fast pitch player. Chris Milhavik, fast pitch player. John Miller, meritorious service. Charlotte Cates, slow pitch player. Hank Garris, slow pitch player. Jason Kendrick, slow pitch player. And last but not least, Chris Drum, umpire. We do thank everyone for attending tonight's banquet. At this time, at the conclusion, I would like to invite all the honorees, and I know all of you have many friends and family here and people want to congratulate them, but the award winners, we ask that you come down here so one, we can take individual pictures and a group picture of everyone. Please bring your award with you. Once again, thanks again and congratulations to the 2024 Hall of Fame inductees. Everyone, enjoy your evening and see you in 2025.
Yeah, you can be the greatest, you can be the best, you can be the King Kong hand on your chest. Beat the world, beat the war. Dr. God go banging on his arm, and throw your hands up. Beat the top for mountains, break rocks. Be a master, don't wait for luck. And again, yourself and you go by yourself. You can walk straight through hell with a smile. Be the hero. Oh, you know the represent us. Yeah, I can be a good for 25. But don't know. Try. Friendship. We can bang. They're going to be a day. Teachers, be politicians, be preachers. Be believers, be leaders, be astronauts, be champions, be trust. Be teachers, be politicians, be preachers, be believers, be leaders, astronauts, be champions.